Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Flux, and I'm back here just with a little Quneo update on what I'm doing with the controller and what's been going on with them. They've been shipping out the retail units now, I believe. I think they've gotten them out to all the backers, or at least they're going out to all the backers now, which is pretty cool. They also released a controller editor update that has an interesting feature. The new controller editor has a emulation mode where you can emulate drum styles of different controllers. It lets you emulate the maschine controller, the Akai MPC, the chord control pad, and full level. Basically what this is it doesn't change how the actual controller is going to feel, but what it does do is it changes the velocity curves and sensitivity settings to try and best get close to those controllers. In my honest opinion, I'm not feeling that it's really quite the same. I mean, when I use maschine, I feel like I'm using maschine. When I use Quneo, I feel like I'm using Quneo. When I'm using my MP, I feel like I'm using an MP. One interesting feature that I came upon today is I started thinking about what I don't like about drum pad controllers, finger drumming controllers. And one of the things that I really don't like is that when you strike a pad, by design, when you strike a pad on an MPC or on a maschine or pretty much any other controller that's out right now, you strike the pad and then you strike it again with another finger. If that pad is still being held down, it's not going to re-trigger because it's only note on, note off. Okay, so if you strike it twice while holding down, it's not going to re-trigger. It's just there's pressure there, so it's telling it that it's on. You have your velocity in there and your pressure readings in there, but it doesn't tell you that there's actually another hit. Quneo is the first controller that I've come across really that you can get past that. And the way that I've done it is I put the, I've only done like a little mock-up here. What I've done is I've gone into grid mode on these two notes on these two pads right here. And in grid mode, what you have is each corner can be a separate note, okay? And you can have velocity on each one. So what I've done is I've just made one pad where it has four corners, and all four corners are the same note. So if I touch once, I can press it down and still be hitting it with another finger, and it still triggers. Now, you do have one issue with that, and I'm still kind of toying around with some settings, seeing if I can get it a little bit better. But one issue is that if you hit in between, two notes, you can get a phasing sound, okay? And the reason that is because you're hitting the same note, it's re-triggering right on top of each other, just slightly delayed. So that can be a little bit of an issue, but I'm hoping that I can kind of work around that, or hoping that maybe by people commenting in the KeithMcmillen.com forum on Quneo, that maybe we can get some adjustments made in the editor to where that allows it. Now, in a software sequencer, you can kind of clean that up anyway, because you can set whatever your polyphony is, or you can set you can set your quantize, so that would clean it up as well. But it allows you to get some interesting effects out of it. One thing you can do is, because it's XY, you can actually just spin your finger around on it and get really cool drum rolls and stuff. So that's kind of neat. As far as the pad emulation, to me, it's more about the sensitivity. This thing is pretty darn sensitive, but at the same time, The strike force, even with sensitivity all the way up and different things being toyed with, it doesn't feel quite as dynamically responsive and sensitive as the machine controller. Um, but it's definitely not bad by any means. The the different templates that I've been playing with, I've been playing around inside of Reactor a little bit and been toying with some templates for like my Ultranova and Massive and things like that. You can also set like for instance, the buttons don't have to be buttons. You can make those drum pads also. Like sometimes I'll set these little buttons down here to be like sample triggers. So if I have like a long sample, but I don't want it on my drum pads, I want it somewhere away from there so that I don't accidentally hit it. I'll set it down on these guys so I can be finger drumming and then quickly hit it. Or maybe I'll do like effects amounts and stuff on the rotaries. So there's just a lot of really neat features on this controller. So I'm still toying with it. I haven't forgotten about it. I've just been kind of like lackadaisically playing with it, to be honest with you. So anyway, that's my update on what's going on with the Quneo controller right now. Hardware emulation, drum style emulation is what they're calling it. And you know, I'll update more as I get more comfortable with it and see how I like it. But just wanted to give you guys an update on Quneo. Peace.